Jackson Radio Show.
Bad news for leftist men. Oh yeah, welcome to the Kevin Jackson Show, everybody. KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. What a topic. What a topic. Cyborgs, robots. When, I've seen all the sci-fi films. Terminator has obviously kind of set the stage for the cyborg. I mean, there were others. But Terminator, forget R2-D2, right? He just roll around on stuff. And even, what was it, R2-D2? C-3PO. I forget which one, but there was the robot that walked all robotic and he was all, glistening. He was looked like he was chrome. That's nothing in comparison to Terminator. Shut up, George Lucas. Don't even try it. Terminator was the man. I'm a human flesh over bloody cup, blah, blah, skeleton, exoskeleton, whatever. So, and the dude had a little eye that made all the calculations and stuff. Give me your pants. Give me your clothes. Remember that? Then he took the dude's clothes, took his motorcycle, and boom, he was off to the races trying to kill Sarah Connor. So, but cyborgs, it was something else. So then they did the next one, the second one, which is another dude. I forget the guy's name. Then they did the third one, who was a woman, and she was hot. That's what the robots have become. You used to think of robots as like, he's putting welding things in Chrysler, or at some auto factory or whatever, or the robots in, at least I do, because I come from, background of engineering. So you got pick and place equipment and you program it in and it knows exactly where to place all the little pieces and parts. And it's become so sophisticated. I'll look at it today and go, seriously? That's the size of surface mount elements now? They can handle that kind of current. The substrates have changed, all the different things that from when I was coming up in engineering, I feel like I'd be over there. They like, look at old great grandpa over there. Still talking about, we were using gallium arsenide. And they're like, gallium arsenide, that's so like your 1990s. And it was cutting edge when I was leaving. So you got all, and I remember we would talk about, this many microns of epitaxial layer and all that. And now they're probably like, man, shut up, grandpa. Get out of here, your old self. But, so things have changed. And I remember, you guys will find this really funny. The toughest thing to do when I was in robotics class, when I, learning about how to design robots, was they said getting a robot to walk was a very difficult thing because, what looks easy to us because we just automatically center, you couldn't do it with a robot. Well, now the gyros and all the different things now, the technology is such that robots walking, no big deal. Robots run now. They can run. Do you see the robot that does a standing back flip and front flip? Yeah. And I don't know what it weighs, probably a couple 100 pounds, but it does these flips. Well, that's the technology. Now he looks like a robot. He doesn't have any like human looks to it. Oh, you know what? The other robot movie, as I think about it, was Alien. Remember the guy cut his finger and he had white blood, and Sigourney Weaver goes, "She didn't tell me I was on with her," and she called him something. And because in the previous movie, the guy the robot dude tried to kill her. So she was mad that she was on with this other guy. And the guy, I forget his name, but you know him and you see him as an actor. But he goes, "Oh, that was an old model." He goes, my algorithms are much better and I would never hurt you or whatever. It didn't help her. She didn't believe it. But he at least said, no, it was an old model that tried to kill you. The new one's okay. And in the movie, you obviously couldn't tell he was human, but, there you go. And then there was Blade Runner, where, they put a certain amount of time on your life because these machines, whatever these hybrids they were so much stronger and, so much smarter and all that. They had to put a limit on them or else they would take over for man. I'm just thinking about robot films. But now they got robots, not just for manufacturing, not, they got them, they're probably looking at them for warriors and things like that. I mean, I don't know. How long will a robot last? Can it run on solar energy? Wait till we find some sort of nuclear pellet where something can really survive a long time. Whoo, it's going to change dramatically. But now I've talked about this before, but this is a different subject about it. But the sex robot industry, I'm telling you folks, y'all think I'm kidding, is going to be big. It is. When I was doing this story, looking at what we're going to write about and obviously talk about, I Googled sex bots. And you got to be careful because you get a lot of crap anytime you put sex in anything on the internet. But it went right to these pages. And I mean, the minute you see them, you're like, boop. Because I went Google Images. You're like, wow. I mean, you still recognize them as dolls. But give it a decade. Give it a decade. And you may come home to the hottest robot. It's going to be dudes talking about, y'all think I'm kidding. They're going to be pulling up pictures on their phone going, have you checked out my latest model here? Check it out. Well, showing pictures of their robots. Not their girlfriends, not their wives. They're robots. They're sex bots. And think about it. You can program your sex bot. This story, I'm telling you, wait till so let me get into it. Because the bad news is they can be hijacked by hackers and used to harm or even kill people. That's what a cybersecurity expert warned. So there's the bad news. There is a downside. But fellas, okay, I'm going to put this out there for the leftist fellas because they're out here listening. They need to know. They're like, I like Kevin Jackson. He explains things pretty well. I want to be part of his team. So I appreciate you guys coming over. Here's what I want to tell you. That's the downside. The good side is you don't have to deal with a liberal woman. Yeah, you get to be total man, alpha dog for a change. You don't have to deal with that whiny, harpy, just emasculating one, whatever, because you can't call her a woman. No one, who knows what she professes to be that day. So you don't have to deal with her. You get yourself a sex bot. Yeah. Artificial intelligence researchers have consistently warned of the security risk posed by internet-connected robots, with 700 recently calling on governments to ban weaponized robots. They have robots. You've seen the movie. What was it called? RoboCop, where the weaponized robots ended up killing everybody in the room. That was a terrible scene. Wow. You got to see, even if you don't like the movie, it was an interesting scene. So, but they don't want to weaponize them because a robot, you can't sue a robot if he shoots you, Michael Brown. You know what I mean? If you're trying to resist a robot and he's strong and he's like, oh, threat. And there's no Black Lives Matter to say, y'all left him out there for 4 hours. Oh my God, he's for 4 hours. Robot says, threat. Stole cigarettes. Approaching. Stop where you don't want to stop, Negro. Shoots him, right? Anyway, apparently hackers take control of these fembots. They can then maneuver the arms and the legs and other attached tools, in some cases even knives, they say, or welding devices. Can you imagine you are in your intimate moment with your robot and suddenly she's welding your buns, welding your butt cheeks together? Wow, maybe with some hot solder? That would hurt. So yeah, they're concerned about this because apparently people are really buying these. Now, the story we did about this a while back was they were saying, should they make sex robots for pedophiles, like as in little baby, little kiddo robots? I'm going to tell you, I have a problem even with somebody, trying to have sex with a kid robot. There's just something even wrong with that to me mentally. That's a whole story for another day. But one of the guys that when I was looking at this story, he said, why don't you just send these robots to the Middle East and then allow hackers access? But anyway, if you're thinking you're sending these fembots to their doom, if you send them over to these goat humpers, these babes are not like whiny feminist human sisters. No, they are brawny Here's what Newsweek said. Often these robots can be up to 200 pounds and very strong. Once a robot is hacked, the hacker has full control and can issue instructions to the robot. The last thing you want is for a hacker to have control over one of these robots. Once hacked, they can absolutely be used to perform physical actions for an adventurous scenario for an advantageous scenario or to cause damage. Now, I'm just trying to imagine one of these fembots with some of the Religion of Peace insurgent's head between her thighs, and some hacker crack the coconut on his control panel, and just, that's the end of that. Now, this has already happened with and you're going to think I'm joking, the Bluetooth-enabled butt plug. Yes, it does exist. People will think I'm kidding. Researchers discovered a security flaw in the Bluetooth-enabled butt plug. If you don't think leftists are crazy, think again.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.